And the last thing we can do now is send the data to this new stream. So what we're going to do here, remember our data is in this data frame, which is called DF weather forecast. So that's our forecasted data. So what we're going to do here, it's a simple for loop, looping through, we're iterating through the rows of DF weather forecast of this data frame. And we're basically adding all the values in the row to a new array called values. So we're appending that. The important thing to note here is for timestamps, we need to follow this format so that OCS understands it properly. So it's 4-digit year, then the 2-digit month, then the 2-digit day, then hours, minutes, and seconds. And then we're calling one of the library functions we have, which is streams.updateValues. And we're passing to it the namespace ID, the stream ID for the new stream we have just created, which is this one here. And then we're using JSON dumps and dumping this array to it. So we're passing all these values to OCS. So we're gonna run that and we're gonna go back to OCS and test that we've received that data. So make sure you select your new stream and check the data. It looks like the data was sent. You can see here. So this is the complex type we've created, and that stream, that specific stream belonging to that complex type, you can see the 4 properties. So the timestamp, air temperature, wind speed, and active power. And by default, this is showing the latest value, which is April 4. So that's 5 days from now. So you can either check the latest value, or you can also check a range of values. So you can put a start index of today's date or the date at the moment. So this is 3rd of March 2020. Let's say at around 11 p.m. in this case. Okay, so that's our start index. And that's 100 values from now. Let's put more than that. Okay, so you can see the data for the next 5 days. So that's April 2nd, 3rd, and April 4th. So you can see we got the forecasted data. And in this trend, you can specify which one of the properties do you want to trend against the time. So remember, time is the key property. That's why it's always the x-axis in this case. And here we can specify, this is showing the air temperature, we can specify the predicted active power. So we can now see the predicted active power for the next 5 days. So that's one way of checking and making sure that the forecast data is now in OCS. Another way of doing this is going to the trending tool in OCS, so under visualization. Try to find your, so the best way of searching is searching using your initials. So if we search with using, in my case, star and then my initial star, you will find these, the tags, the streams basically. So make sure you add the three properties of that stream, which is the air temperature, wind speed, and active power. And then we can specify a time. So there are some existing quick ranges we can use here, but they're all in the past. In our case, we want future values. So we can say the start time is, so we can put the start time as the current time. And the end time, we're going to put it after a few days. So we're going to put the 4th of April. And we can see that's the forecasted data over here. We can also add the active power for one of the turbines. So we can search for GE02, for example. and we can add the active power. Let's remove the others. So let's remove temperature, wind speed. Just keep the active power in this case. And let's change the start time to a few days earlier, or 1 day earlier. And you can overlay these on top of each other. So you can see here the active power and the predicted power.